XM 105. I am Henry Goldblatt, and I have the privilege of being here with one of my favorite people in Hollywood. I've got Bellamy Young, who plays the First Lady Melly Grant on Scandal. Hi.
Hi,
How are
I'm so happy to be here with you.
I am so happy to have you
thing.
here. I've had a privilege of interviewing you before, and it's always just such a treat.
Thanks. It's my treasure, I swear. And if you guys could see him, he looks so cute today. You have no idea.
You look beautiful.
You're very kind.
One thing I love about Bellamy is you all see her every week as Melly, and she has this hair that is like sky high. It's sort of like the Southern saying, the higher the hair, closer to God. Exactly. And right now she has this just beautiful slick back hair. So
I left that other hair in L.A.
I can only imagine. But what are you doing in New York City this week?
ABC was nice enough to bring some of the cast out to celebrate upfronts because we're celebrating season 4. We got to pick up. Thank heaven.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And that's terrific news. We also on Tuesday night had a party with ABC and Entertainment Weekly, which is always a lot of fun. We do every year.
A ball. You guys throw a good party.
Oh,
it's
thank you. We love having you guys, and it's really great because we get to meet, we get to mingle with casts like Scandal and Modern Family and all the new shows that ABC is trotting out this fall, so that's pretty exciting as well.
I know. It's a fun night. It's like, with freshman year when everybody mingles, and then you go out later on to separate corners.
Exactly.
But it's a fun party week.
Well, you've had a very fun party month, actually, because you were in Washington, D.C. for the White House Correspondents' Dinner.
Yeah, Henry. Oh, my stars.
So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I think we all figured we'd go pretty under the radar, and we could sort of watch and learn how people really act, how people really speak to each other, dress, whatever. They watch Scandal, and they want to drink and tell you about that. I love you, DC. I had the best time. DC, I swear, I adore you. But it was an incredible experience. And on top of that, Tony, who plays the president on my show, I play the First Lady. Tony and I got to meet the Obamas, which was an incredible moment.
That I can imagine. So what did the First Lady say to you?
First thing she said to me was, "Why did you kill your son?" And I literally, because I was in a bit of a brownout and a little overwhelmed because the moment was happening at all, and so I couldn't really get any. I was like, I didn't kill my son. And then I just hugged her like a koala. I just kept hugging her.
You may have hugged her like a koala up here, but she's pretty tall, isn't she?
She's pretty tall. She's tall. I had on enormous shoes. I don't even want to talk about it. I still don't have feeling in 3 toes. I wish I were kidding about that.
Oh my God, that's really
Washington
funny.
has left its mark on me.
Well, the White House Correspondents' Dinner is, of course, where all the press corps sort of get together who cover the White House and mingle with celebrities and politicians. And you tweeted a picture of you and Lupita Nyong'o, which she must have been wonderful to meet as well.
She's been so lovely. We met, before this. Her life really changed in those 3 months during award season, and we met very early. She's a fan of the show and came up to introduce herself to me and a bunch of us at Golden Globes, one of the Golden Globes parties. And so it's always so lovely to see her, and also astonishing and thrilling to see how her life has blossomed, and because she's so worthy of it and living it with such grace. And I always meet, like, her mom is with her one place, her aunt's with her another place. Like, she's just a solid, wonderful girl. And could she be any more beautiful?
Oh my God, insane. Well, People magazine actually just named her one of the world's most beautiful people.
As they should. For all years to come.
Who, aside from the Obamas, was there anyone else that you were starstruck from in Washington?
It was fun to meet Valerie Jarrett, she's incredible. It was all of the White House staff. Jeremy Bernard took us around a lot, a White House social secretary. It was the real life people who make the real life decisions. That was the fun for me.
Now, was there anything that you learned on this trip to D.C. or other trips to D.C. that have informed the character that you play, Melly Grant?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, everything about, but from decorum to dress to vibe to, you drink it all in. I mean, I'm lucky because these scripts get to me so fully formed. Our writers are beyond. But it's all in the details, You really have to look and listen and soak it all up.
So next time that you meet someone on TV, you are like Michelle Obama are going to say, "Why did you kill your son?"
Exactly.
Well, speaking of, season 3 of Scandal is now out on Netflix.
Yeah.
And I want to do a little bit of a recap here of your character, Melly Grant. So in season 3, she had an affair. She had her kids walk in on her while she was having sex with this man she was having an affair with. She insulted a congresswoman.
Sure.
She lost a son.
Yes.
She was raped by her father-in-law.
A little bit.
She helped cover up the murder of Daniel Douglas, who was Sally Langston's husband. And she kind of sunk into alcoholism.
A little bit.
So I really just have one question for you. Are you tired?
You know what? It's a thrill. You know how it is. The juicier the thing, the more exciting it is to play.
Absolutely.
We love it when we get these crazy scenes, like something truly scandalous, or there's just huge conflict. It's just like actor candy. And I'm with the best group of people. I mean, you know, you've met them all, Henry, and they're really just the best folk. And we just rub our little hands like screen villains because we're so excited to dive in and make craziness. Like the drunken scene. I'm thinking of the drunken scene with Olivia, where I unintentionally let it out that Big Jerry raped me. Like that scene, and Debbie Allen was directing us. That scene was so much fun to do. I can't say the same thing about the rape with Sweet Barry Bostwick. He took great care of me. But that was still hard on both of us. Like that was a hard day.
Well, I was going to say, like any superhero, you have an origin story, which we found out in season 3, episode 7. And as you referred to, we find out that Melly was raped by her father-in-law, and what a traumatic scene. But what was it like to sort of go to work that day and know that you have to play this?
Well, it's funny because you just get the script right before you start the episode, like the day before you start the episode. So that was quite a bombshell to get at the table read, that this is what's going to happen. Oh, it's a huge flashback scene for episode for Melly. What? How? So you're going to have to dive in. But that day in particular, I always prep with my acting coach. Like, I'm so lucky to have this job, Henry. I am. And so I always want to show up with full heart and full, like, with everything as ready as I can get it, and then just sort of forget it all and leap. But that day I was fasting, so I would, could feel as empty as it was all going to go. And we had to do the majority of the flashback. I'm not sure if we had 2 days that episode or one, because it's usually a location-specific experience, so you sort of had to just do it all back to back to back to back to back. So you don't have the luxury of being too precious about it. But that day in particular, it was a real day of focus and surrender. And Barry took great care of me. He's such a terrific man. And the hardest part is you got to do it from a million angles.
Of course.
Michael Cattleman was directing, so they tried to conserve. We sort of played all the scene. We would go through the scene a number of times from the different angles, but really only do the rape once from each angle, which was considerate. But you want them to get it because you don't have to come back and reshoot.
Oh, God, of course.
Yeah.
You're listening to TV Editor's Hour on Entertainment Weekly Radio, Sirius XM 105. I am Henry. I am here with Bellamy Young, who plays Melly Grant, the First Lady on Scandal. We're going over Season 3, which is now available on Netflix.
Yeah.
And so I've interviewed Guillermo Diaz before, who plays Huck, and he says when he has his very intense scenes, he goes home and watches horror movies, which is so foreign to me, but okay, if that relaxes him, that's great.
He loves them. He does. He genuinely loves them. That's true.
What did you do after this day that you were filming the rape scene? How did you sort of decompress and relax?
I was in every day that episode, so there wasn't, I just had to go to bed and make sure I knew my lines for the next day. But after that episode, I slept for like 2 days. It was a real, but it's such a gift as an actor. I've been working a long time, and I've been lucky enough that this is all I've ever had to do, but I've never been given writing like this. So as exhausting as it is, it's also so energizing because, it won't last forever, and, you're so grateful to be in the moment that you're in. So, and it's TV, so you don't have the luxury. You can't sit down. It's a well-oiled machine.
Exactly,
On
and especially a show like Scandal that's actually written so close to the episode, too. It's not like some dramas that they write the episode and you film it like 3 months later. You guys are getting scripts and you're rehearsing them and you're shooting them, and that's that.
Yeah, I've seen Scott Foley drop 8 pounds in 6 days. Because he knows he has to be, naked next Tuesday. Oh, yeah.
A little bit of anorexia on the set of Scandal here. That was a bit of a scoop.
Just selective eating.
So what was your favorite scene to play throughout Season 3?
It's like Sophie's Choice. I was given such incredible things to do in Season 3. I couldn't. The scene with Carrie is way up there, but we started out with a bang in the bunker, like me and Carrie and Tony. We had that one-act play, that first episode, and then that whole I had 2 amazing flashback episodes, both the one with the rape and then the one where you sort of get the background story on Andrew, and I couldn't pick it, Henry. Honestly, couldn't pick it. I wouldn't know how.
What's something that's been interesting to me, and I'm also, along with Scandal, I'm a fan of A Good Wife, and these little Something that we're seeing more lately is sort of hard-drinking women on TV, and like I'm also wondering, and certainly we don't know what's happening in season 4 yet, but were there sort of flashes of, do we see Melly sort of sink into alcoholism, or is that something that's sort of in the back of your mind at all as you're playing this? Because there have been a lot of sort of the Easter eggs of her drinking throughout the season.
Yeah, I never know where they're going to take the story, so my job is only to play the scene they've given me, and I think for sure they flirted with that, because Melly was sure relying. I mean, that was her crutch. Her hooch was her crutch, right? I mean, that was her
for all the
friend
best
and her
of us,
confidant. Exactly. It was so much fun to play. I can't even lie. So much fun to play drunk, because I spent 2 seasons being very buttoned up and very judgy, and so to just be first to have someone show me kindness was incredible, right? And you always have to see, like in life, how you meet kind. Can you let yourself be loved? You know, it's a question we all face, but it's not a question with can you let yourself be drunk? Because you just drink and it's happening, and so you're just sort of like unfettered, and stuff slips out, and like everything that Melly had been holding, like just choking down and repressing, was just like coming up in these nasty little bile bits, and it was a ball.
Is it grape juice? Or is there a little bit
liquor.
just a little bit of wine for you? I mean, there's a lot
it's
of it.
It's hooch for me, baby. So it's usually just water.
Now, a lot of our listeners may not know that this is not the first time you're on a political drama. You guest starred on season 5 of The West Wing.
I did.
You did. An episode called The Stormy Present. And you should Netflix it. It was season 5, episode 10.
I have blonde hair.
You have blonde hair?
Yeah, I do.
Totally. And play a woman named Mary Lou Merriweather, which is just a great name.
Isn't it? I mean, come on.
Do you have any memories of being on that set?
I eventually started dating a writer who I had known at college, who was on. So I have memories that are specific to my time with him. But I was just there for a day. It was me and Brad Whitford and Dave. Oh golly, I can't remember Dave. I can't remember your last name. I want to say it's A&D something. And it was a quick day, but a ball. And they like you to speak with a little speed as well.
Oh, exactly.
So I just remember being very indignant and wanting something back for the state of North Carolina. And having big blonde hair.
Amazing. The big hair is the theme throughout all this.
Look, I'm Southern. You can take the girl out of the hair. No, you can't. You can't take the girl out of the hair.
Now, Kerry Washington, of course, just had a baby, and that's very exciting news. Have you talked to her or heard from her at all?
You know, we don't talk about anything about Kerry.
Sure.
With love, I say.
Sure.
She's, happy and, living her own life.
Oh, that's absolutely wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of your life, what are you working on this summer?
We broke a little early for joyous reasons that we are not discussing.
Yes.
And I made an album, it made my heart so happy.
Congratulations.
Thank you,
what
Henry.
type of album is it?
It's covers. I wish I wrote music. I'm not gifted that way. But it's everything. I did a Pink song and Tom Waits and Ryan Adams, Psychedelic Furs, Amos Lee, like just eclectic covers. I loved it so. In a year of blessings, to be sitting, like standing, usually I have to stand, in a studio, like just with a microphone, just trying to, get a song out of my heart and into a little device, was an unknowable happiness. My feet didn't touch the ground for like 3 weeks.
That is amazing. How long were you working on it for?
We did pre-production for it in December, and so it was sort of ready to go when we wrapped, and I did lead vocals in like 3 weeks.
Wow.
And so now we're just laying in supporting vocal tracks and mixing, and I hope it'll be done by the end of the summer, but music's on a different schedule than TV.
Exactly. Do you expect that we'd be able to buy it in 2014 anyway?
I hope so, yes.
Great.
Oh, yes, absolutely, yeah.
Can we break a little news here in terms of what Pink song or what Psychedelic Furs song you're covering, or is it all a surprise? And I respect that too.
No, I don't think so. Should it be a surprise? I don't know. Pink song I'm singing is Beam Me Up.
Oh, great.
Which I love.
Terrific song.
Beautiful.
And was this just a question of you sort of going through a catalog and saying, you know what, these are my 12 or 14 favorite songs and this is what I'd like to share?
No, songs that I just love to sing. Stories, I gravitate towards stories. So I didn't want to sound inauthentic. I wanted to sing songs that were coming really from my heart. And so they were just the songs that I picked.
That's amazing.
I know it seems a little random, but they're really songs. Like I tried to do a Billy Bragg song because I love him so much, but you can't sing it well. Sing it like this, and so I was like, that doesn't sound really authentic. It's true, you can't sing those songs normal.
Does the album have a title yet?
No, I want to hear it. You know, like you can't name
Of
your baby
course.
before you see your baby.
Oh, absolutely.
So I want to hear it first, see how it all mixes down.
Oh, we'll be definitely looking out for that. And you mentioned that you're traveling a bit this summer as well?
I am.
Where are you heading?
Sweet Jeff Perry and I get to go to the Monte Carlo TV Festival. I'm so excited I can't even talk about it. So that will be crazy. I'm going to go to Monte Carlo. And then friends get married in Salzburg, and some friends are going to Iceland. So I'm going to just sort of glom on to other people's fun.
Oh, terrific.
I know.
That sounds like so much fun.
I know.
Okay, so season 4 of Scandal